Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. Well, Apple announcing a hefty boost in spending in the United States. So here's what we know. CEO Tim Cook sat down for a meeting with President Donald Trump last week, and then he committed to bump in spending about $500 billion over the next 4 years. Mr. Trump reacted to that investment in a post on social media, writing, "The reason for that investment is, quote, faith in what we are doing, without which they wouldn't be investing 10 cents. So let's bring in CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent to give at least $1.50, maybe even her 2 cents to the 10 cents reference. Kelly, let's talk about Apple. Makes most of its products outside the United States. So what's in it for Apple, and what might it mean for Americans?
Right. So specifically for Americans, this could actually mean an additional 20,000 jobs created. So one of the things that Apple will be investing in is sort of data center warehouse located in Texas. You've heard a lot of companies doing similar things like Meta and some others as this AI race ramps up. And so this particular facility would create 20,000 jobs, Apple is saying. Now, what is it that's in it for Apple? So a better relationship with the U.S. government, bringing more jobs here, more product here, also with the threat of looming tariffs, escalating tariffs that we have already seen implemented on China, where Apple gets most of its products, its chips. Having more of that manufactured in the U.S. would allow them to circumvent that. Now, as you said, most of their product is in China, so this is not taking all of that overnight and bringing it here, but it is one step. So that certainly is something that is behind Apple making this choice. I will note, though, back under the first Trump administration, they did something similar. They upped their spending to $350 billion over 5 years. This is $500 billion over 4 years. So certainly more than in the past, but it is something that we have seen them do before.
All right, good perspective and context there. We're also hearing a new proposal from the U.S. Trade Representative could make it more expensive for Chinese companies to ship packages to get them across the border into the United States. What are we hearing about that, and what does it mean, especially? I'm thinking of Amazon orders.
Yeah, so this could be really impactful. So these recommendations come from a study that was started under the Biden administration back in March of last year. And the study sort of came out and found, I will quote, that China is leveraging unfair trade practices to dominate the global shipping market. Just for some context, most of the ships that come to our ports, they are coming from China. Now, what this could mean in terms of the recommendations. So the Chinese-built ships that come to a U.S. port of call, they would face up to $1 million fee that they would be assessed per U.S. port. Now, maybe they stop in Bayonne in New Jersey, but maybe they also stop in Savannah down in Georgia. Maybe they hit a couple on the eastern seaboard. So you start to see those fees rack up. There's also provisions to try and get more U.S. goods or more imported goods coming into the country on U.S. ships. So there are quotas that increase over time. And there's a big question about whether there are enough U.S. ships, enough U.S. workers to fill that quota, but that's not something that would go into place right away. Now, all of this would need to be approved by the president. This is just a proposal right now. But as you suggest, who would start to pay those fees?
Right.
That would get passed down to the company that's importing, and it would get passed down to us. So think of everything from Amazon, Apple, Costco. A lot of our products come from China.
So let's talk about another iconic brand here in the United States, and that is Starbucks. There's some fresh reporting that you have about changes there with Starbucks employees.
So it is not going to impact any of the staff at your local Starbucks. So it's not going to impact your wait times for your latte. It's always a pistachio one for me, Reed. But what they are trying to do is make this more efficient. So it's going to be corporate roles where the new CEO had just come in September and is really trying to overhaul, make things more efficient. And these are roles that he has identified that he doesn't feel are absolutely necessary. So we're seeing this come from a lot of different companies as they're sort of downsizing, making things more efficient, but it won't impact us at the store.
All right, Kelly O'Grady, wishing you a triple shot in that pistachio latte. I've never tried it. I'm going to try that. Thanks for the recommendation.